In this segment, we're going to be talking about writing your own custom JavaScript. JavaScript has an important role in most web and mobile applications in that it's used to create interactive sites or interactive applications. JavaScript is where the logic, calculations, animations come in. It's a programming language and can do just about anything. So let's move into brackets here, and I'm going to go ahead and create our first JavaScript code. Now, JavaScript oftentimes lives inside traditional HTML. So let's go ahead and create an HTML document. I'm going to save this. I've got on my desktop here a JS folder, so I'll just call this custom.html. You may be surprised that I'm not using a javascript.js extension, but that's simply because this is actually HTML with JavaScript embedded inside it. All right, so let's do our head, and we have our title in there. Good to review this. First, custom JavaScript, and then we have our body. So the JavaScript itself can go in the head tag or the body tag or even an external file. So we're going to simply put our JavaScript here in the body. We'll do that with script tags. Now, what happens when the browser encounters a script tag is it knows, okay, this is JavaScript, and I need to interpret it differently than I'd interpret the HTML. So we're going to use JavaScript here to get some information from the user, and then we're going to use that information in a calculation. So the first thing our JavaScript is going to do is prompt the user. So I'm going to use this prompt command here, and it's going to ask the user, how old are you? Now, the text we have inside the prompt is what's going to be displayed in the prompt box. You see on the other side of the equals sign, I've got var age. So age is where whatever the user types in is going to be stored. This is called a variable. You probably worked with variables way back in as early as middle school or junior high school when you were learning algebra and you were told to solve for x. X was the variable. So here, our variable is age, and that's going to store the prompt, how old are you? Now, if we were to run this right now, actually nothing would happen. And that's because JavaScript doesn't know when to actually execute this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to surround this with some code so this runs when the page initializes. So I'm going to say window onload equals function. And then I'm going to use these curly brackets. And what's going to happen is when the page loads, it's going to go ahead and actually run the function that we created here, which has the text in it requesting the user's age. All right, I think now would be a good time to try this in a browser window. So let's bring up our window here. We'll use the Chrome and then use the live preview feature. There we go. So let's go ahead and click our live preview feature. And there you notice this box popped up and said, how old are you? So we could say 33, we could say anything, and nothing else happens. Because right now, we simply have this stored in age. Now, we could just alert back to the user here. You are age, there's our variable, years old. So what's in the quotes is a string, and that's going to be output. The value stored in age is going to be concatenated or added to it. And it's going to output the whole thing. So let's go ahead and try this again. How old are you? So let's say I'm 39, which is actually true. You are 39 years old. So it echoed this back to us in an alert box. Well, that's not very useful. Let's go ahead and actually use our JavaScript for something more useful. I'm going to go ahead and precede that line with 2 slashes, which means it's now a comment and is not actually going to be processed by the browser. It's going to be ignored. So what I'm going to do next, actually, is let's figure out the age in dog years. If you're not familiar with dog years, it said that a dog's age is the number of years the dog's been around times 7. It's a way to convert the dog into its equivalent human age. So if a dog is 11 years old, it's actually 77. So let's go ahead and create a new variable called dog age, and let's assign that age times 7. So now when this line runs, whatever the user typed into age is going to be multiplied by 7 and stored in dog age. Whenever you see this assignment operator here, also known as the equals sign, the right side of the assignment operator is always evaluated first and then assigned to what's on the left. So here we're creating a variable called dog age, and we're giving it the value age times 7. So now we can see alert dog age, that output. Let's go ahead and try it again with our live preview. So let's say let's give it a reasonable dog age, 10. So we should see, and we do, 70. So now let's make that output a little more useful. And instead of an alert, again, I'll comment this out. Let's actually write this to the screen. Now, in order to write this to the screen, we've got to have a place to hold it. So I'm going to create a div here with an ID, dog age result. So this div is what's going to hold the result. Right now, the div has no content in it. It's empty. So let's go ahead and put the result in that div. So let's create a result variable, and we'll put the result there first. You are dog age, years old in dog years. So that result's going to be created and held in this result variable. So what that means is, quite simply, that result is going to be stored, but we haven't yet displayed it. We want to store the value of result, or rather we want to place the value of the result right there in that div. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that div. We're going to say document, and this is kind of a long one, get element by ID, dog age result. So this statement right here, you notice it's get element by ID. Well, what has the ID dog age result? This div does. And what we're going to do is set its inner HTML property to result. So let's go through the execution again. The window.onload function runs this when the window loads. We get the age from the user. Whatever the user types into the prompt, how old are you, is assigned to age. We multiply age by 7 and assign it to the dog age variable. This line is skipped because it's commented out. And then we get the result variable, which takes the text you are, adds whatever is held in dog age, and then glues a space and years old in dog years to the end of it. That's held in the result variable. We then take the result variable and we place it inside the dog age result inner HTML.